Hey everyone, how's it going? It's after the close on Friday. Just go over a few things with you. So I don't have the probability ranges up. I haven't had them up for a long time since Apple broke out of the options, and I won't put them back on until I see that things are calmed down and the options market's back in control. So nothing right now tells me that. So I'm just gonna leave these off. And why I have them off is because I don't want you, if I had them on there, I don't want you using these to place your, win lose bets. Like I cannot have it go over this or I lose everything. I can't have you doing that. So that's why I'm not having these there. When these come back on, then it's very, very good odds that it will close in this range. So in the meantime, and there's nothing, if it does close in there in the perfect scenario like it did today, that's fine. But just for now, I don't want you, say selling an uncovered call up here, or selling an uncovered put right here and you really have no intention of buying the stock. I don't want you doing that type of stuff. Um, so for now, how to use it though is you can still use it as one of your tools. Like on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, Apple was coming up to this 400 area, and more than likely, it's going to want to come back down because you're going to start getting selling pressure here from either commercial money that is short these and wants it this way, or just the fact that people, once it starts coming up here, people will start closing their calls out, taking their gains, or rolling them out further, and it's just going to create selling pressure to come back down this way. Same thing over here, what you saw today. These are great just reference points, buys and sells. What I want to buy Apple today and just scalp 50 cents out of it or a dollar. Where do I buy? And you can come over here and look. If Apple's up here, that's not the best time to buy because more than likely it'll probably come down here. Or if it is, you're kind of on your own. This way, it's much higher probability, like Apple today opened up at this 385 range. Well, that's going to be buy, and it could have even opened up lower, say it was 380. That's going to be a buy because these are going to have to start to close out, or if you want to look at it another way, commercial money would rather have Apple, right in this range. So you're going to have a lot of things on your side. You're going to be swimming with the current. Kind of picture this like a slingshot. The higher this thing goes, and if Apple's down here, it's going to slingshot the stock this way because it ignites a spark that people will start to close these out, which creates buying pressure. And then people are going to feed on it. You're going to have momentum, people and whatnot. And so it's going to start going this way. So today, where should I buy? Anywhere, when you're starting down here, you have a lot higher probability of it going this way than you do buying up here because you're going against the current. As you saw today, that, same thing. You had the 385 level be your bottom and up ever since. And then close down in on this. So you have on options expiration, you have just freaky stuff that goes on. Like, it's not normal that a huge liquid stock like Apple drops in 1 second, drops $1. But you have weird things. So, and you never know. Here's the weeklies. You never know how much of this stuff where it ends up, what gets closed down. So here's the open interest, but obviously 50,000, or the open interest on the 395s is only 10K, but you have 50,000 that traded today. So you never really know what this actually does on the last day. So that's why I don't have a lot of explanations for stuff like this. But for whatever reason, when like if you want to sell Apple or you needed to buy it or whatever at the end of the day, when you know that it's going to stay above 390 because you're going to have, so here, the best case is stay above that, because if it starts going below 390, in the last 15 minutes, half an hour, you're going to have these people close out the positions and it's going to start some buying pressure. Once you just get a little bit of buying pressure, people just catch on to it and they piggyback and it starts to go the other way, like kind of like you just saw with this. and it doesn't take much to get going. Um, so you kind of know another thing like, I want to buy Apple. Oh, I'm scared that it broke 390. Well, you have a very, very good odds that it's gonna be finishing over 390. So it's little things like that, and you'll see over time how it'll become second nature to you. And the best thing I like looking at this is don't be scared. Like a lot of people get scared off like they just bought Apple here, say, and then you just come to the site and it just Apple's, quote unquote tanking, 1% or whatever to 390. It's not a big deal. It's not doing it for any reasons. The company is fully fundamentally sound. It's just creates a lot of selling pressure here, so it's completely options related. Once you start knowing that and understanding that, it's a lot easier to see, and your emotions don't, get the best of you, and you can really take advantage of this stuff sometimes. Like if Apple opened up way down here, that's going to be a buy because they have to close out all this and it's going to start coming the other way. There are things like if this debt ceiling, say Apple's down here in the debt ceiling, there's a no vote on it and it happens in market hours. There's things that just take over, like volume, or redemptions, margin calls, things like that. It's going to just keep going. There's things that it can't control, but for the most part, if everything is fairly quiet or normal, that's how it works. So that's my thoughts for the week. I got a few more minutes, I can go over some things. So on this portfolio model here, just go over why it's great to sell covered calls against your position while you're just waiting. Apple can sit here through this debt mess at 390 or float from 380 to 400 in there for the next month or whatever. And so why everyone else is just sitting there with their shares, you're capturing a gain on them. You're lowering your cost basis. And so a good example is here on the 19th, we sold 425 calls in this account for $2.38 credit. So let's come and see what they are at now. So yeah, this is August. And what were those 425s? And so they're $1.37 now. So you have a great gain on those. You can close them out or just let them sit there or, roll them down. So you're going to make, as long as Apple stays under 425, you're going to make an extra $2.38. So you're going to lower. So if you have a cost basis of Apple at, 325 or 300, you just lowered it by this $2.38. You do that every single month, for the rest of your life till retirement, whatever, you're gonna be getting Apple darn cheap. So that's a great thing about selling premium, especially when a stock is just sideways. You're making money. You're making $2 while everyone else didn't make anything. Yeah, I think that was about the reason I have these. I just needed, when I started this account, I just needed something to sell calls against. So if you have stock here, that's great. If you have other forms, like if you have 135 strikes here, if you have 200 strikes here, or 225s, that's fine. I just put these 250s to show I don't want people going over 250 really. So I kind of put the max one, and it's good because it'll get appeal to the average person. It's not a super expensive leap, and I figured a lot of people can kind of buy that strike. So that's the reason. There was no like magic formula. I personally have January 13s for my leaps. I have 135 calls, I have 200, and I have 225. I don't have anything higher than that. So if anyone has any questions of why I chose that, it was just more to appeal to everyone. I really wouldn't recommend going above that, but again, it's up to you. So